Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. I just want to say welcome to everybody for the first time folks watching me. Today we are going to talk about drugs around us and how they affect all of us. It is not just the drug user or the alcoholic. It is the people around us. It's around their families, around their neighborhood, even around their working environment. As always, I first want to give a shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from StartingPointMN.com. That's StartingPointMN.com. Dr. Luis Gonzalez has two entities to his business. Well, actually three, but we're only going to talk about two. The first one is he is an addiction recovery coach like I am. He will help you walk from your addiction to your recovery hand in hand, 24 hours at a time, working on today and tomorrow, never worrying about yesterday. We are not counselors, we are not therapists, but we are addiction recovery coaches. We're life coaches. We are here to motivate you. Dr. Luis Gonzalez is here to bring whatever questions you already have in your mind that you know you have the answers somewhere deep inside you to the surface, and that way you can move on and you can work with your recovery and you can help yourself through Dr. Luis Gonzalez take your life back. You can call him at 844-414-8444. That's 844-414-8444. Another sponsor of mine that I'd like to give a shout out to is globaleyeglasses.com. That's GLOBALEYEGLASS.com. That's globaleyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. They have eyeglasses that start as low as $6 and go up to about $49. Those eyeglasses, which are the frames, include standard non-coated single vision RX lenses. The single vision, of course, has to be within a certain RX. Anything over a certain RX, there will be an extra charge. You can find at globaleyeglasses.com transitions, photochromatics, polarized lenses, progressive lenses, bifocals, single vision, reading glasses, sports glasses, goggles. You can find them all at globaleyeglasses.com. They are focused on saving you money. I want you all to go to one of my websites. It's a new website that I started about 2 months ago, and that's www.Take Your Life Back Today Show. That's Take Your Life Back Today Show. On Google search, you just go and type that in, Take Your Life Back Today Show, and you will find my new website. I have now 3 websites of my own: www.clearviews.info, www.clearreform.com, and the new one, and welcome to the our collection, is www.takeyourlifebacktodayshow.com. You can reach me at 844-405-HELP, 844-405-HELP. You can text me 24/7 at 631-599-0218. Last time we spoke, you folks all knew I was going through a terrible cold. I am better. Yay! Let's jump right into drugs around us, and they will affect us. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what circumstances you're under. If you are not the drug abuser or the alcoholic, you are still affected by people around you that have these issues. Drug abuse is so costly. Alcoholism is so costly. Substance abuse costs our nation more than $484 billion. I said billion per year. The costs of drug abuse are substantial as that of any other chronic condition. If you want to compare it to diabetes, only costs $131.7 billion annually. Cancer costs $171.6 billion annually. So can you imagine those two combined, diabetes and cancer, do not even equal drug abuse or substance abuse annually. Drug abuse is a major public health problem, folks. Americans perceive that drug abuse as a major public health problem. Many of America's top medical problems can be directly linked to drug abuse, such as examples would be cancer. Tobacco contributes to 11 to 30% of cancer deaths. Heart disease. Researchers have found a connection between the abuse of tobacco, cocaine, MDMA, which is ecstasy, meth, and steroids, and development of cardiovascular diseases. Tobacco is responsible for approximately 30% of all heart disease deaths since HIV and AIDS. For each year, I should say. HIV and AIDS, approximately one-third of AIDS cases reported in 2000, 11,635, and most cases of hepatitis C, approximately 25,000 deaths in 2001. In the United States, these figures, I'm talking about 30% heart disease through tobacco, 11,635,000 deaths because of HIV, and 25,000 deaths because of hepatitis C. Just in the year 2001, approximately half of pediatric AIDS cases, which is about 4,700, reported through 2002, result from injection drug use or sex with injection drug users by the child's mother. Unprotected sex while the mother has HIV carries it down. She might have gotten it through unprotected sex, or she could have also gotten it possibly through needles. Many of America's top social problems also relate to impact drug abuse. Drug driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that drugs are used by approximately 10 to 22% of drivers involved in crashes, often in combination with drugs and alcohol. Violence. At least half of individuals arrested for major crimes, including homicide, theft, assault, were under the influence of illicit drugs and at the time of their arrest. Now, if it's not just the illicit drugs, it could be a combination of drugs and alcohol. Stress. Exposure to stress is one of the most powerful triggers of substance abuse in vulnerable individuals and of relapse of former addicts. Stress, folks, is a killer. It's not just a killer as far as making you relapse or making you turn to drugs and alcohol, but it's also a heart attack killer. Stress is terrible. Folks, we all need to learn how to deal with stress. It takes a lot of us a long time to learn. Me, myself, I have become stronger because of problems, so I've learned to live with stress a lot longer. Remember, if you turn to your higher power, in my case, my God, whatever stress is in your life, let God work it out for you. Let God work it out with you. Child abuse. At least 2/3 of patients in drug abuse treatment centers say that they were physically or sexually abused as children. Addiction affects everyone, not just you, the abuser, or you, the alcoholic. It affects the spouses, the children, family members, co-workers, neighbors. Drug abuse impacts the individual, the family, the community. Everybody knows someone who's affected by drug abuse. Right now, you sitting here in my audience, you know someone possibly that is an alcoholic, that is a drug abuser. Individual. This affects individual adolescents. This is a time period of high vulnerability to drug abuse and other risk-taking behaviors. Mental illness. People with mental illness are particularly at risk of problems related to substance abuse. Consequences of substance abuse. These can include illness, injuries, death. Each year, approximately 40 million debilitating illnesses or injuries occur among Americans as a result of their use of tobacco, alcohol, or another addictive drug. Deaths. Just in the year 2000, approximately 460,000 deaths were due to illicit drug abuse and smoking, possibly also including drug. We did a show just recently, or I did, a segment on alcohol is probably the most dangerous drug there is. Heroin is the most publicized dangerous drug, but alcohol is the most dangerous drug there is. Families can be destroyed because of drug abuse. Prenatal smoking. Infants born to women who smoke during pregnancy have a low average birth weight and may be at increased risk for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, conduct disorders, and childhood obesity. Cocaine. Babies born to mothers who abuse cocaine during pregnancies can be born prematurely and have low birth weights. There may be as many as 45,000 cocaine-exposed babies per year. 45,000. If you told me 10, I would have said that's 10 too many. 45,000 children born per year are somehow linked to drug abuse, somehow linked to cocaine abuse. Child abuse. Approximately 50 to 80% of all child abuse and neglect cases substantiated by Child Protective Services involve some degree of substance abuse by child's parents. Let's not kid ourselves. Substance abuse is not just drug abuse. It means substance. The substance could be alcohol. The substance could be cocaine, heroin, could be prescription drugs. It could be anything that is of substance of illegal drug. Drug abuse affects us all. Community. Homelessness. 31% of America's homeless suffer from drug abuse or alcoholism. As many as 60% of adults in federal prisons are there for drug-related crime. Education. Children with prenatal cocaine exposure are more likely, which is 1.5 times, to need special education services in school. Special education costs for this population are estimated at $23 million per year. The workplace. In 1997, illicit drug users were more likely than others to have missed 2 or more days of work in the past month due to their substance abuse or their addiction. Folks, the signs are here, they're out in the open, but the question is what are we going to do about it? Let's recap. This cold is 100% better, but still within me, and I apologize. Oh, for you folks, notice the background. That is a banner of my logo for my show. That is a 6-foot by 3-foot banner. And as you can see, hopefully you can see, it's Take Your Life Back Today show with me. Yay! Drugs around us and its effects on us. Drug abuse is so costly. Listen to these numbers. It costs, substance abuse costs our nation approximately $484 billion per year. Let's break this down in a more understandable way. Diabetes costs the society approximately 131.7 billion annually. That's for diabetes. Cancer costs the society about 171.6 billion. If you combine those two together, you're talking about 3.2 or 302 billion. Well, listen to what I said. 484 billion is spent on drug substance abuse. That's 180 billion more than diabetes and cancer combined. Drug abuse is a major public health problem. Cancer, tobacco contributes to 11 to 30% of cancer deaths. Heart disease. Researchers have found a connection between the abuse of tobacco, cocaine, MDMA, meth, and steroids, and the development of cardiovascular disorders, or diseases, I should say. Those all can cause you to have heart issues. Tobacco is responsible for approximately 30% of all heart disease deaths each year. HIV and AIDS. Approximately 1/3 of AIDS cases reported in 2000, 11,635,000, and hepatitis C, approximately 25,000 deaths in 2000. That is unbelievable. Approximately half of pediatric AIDS cases, which is about 4,700 reported through 2000, result from injection, drug use, because the mother was using possibly a dirty needle and or unprotected sex. Many Americans' top social problems also relate to impact drug abuse. Drug driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that drugs are used by approximately 10 to 22 Percent of drivers involved in crashes, 10 to 22%. That's almost a quarter of all drug crashes are somehow linked to alcohol and or drugs. Violence, at least half of the individuals arrested for major crimes, including homicide, theft, and assault, were under the influence of illicit drugs and or alcohol. Stress, which is a killer. Exposure to stress is one of the most powerful triggers of substance abuse in vulnerable individuals and the relapse for former addicts. Child abuse. At least 2/3 of patients in drug abuse treatment centers say they were physically or sexually abused. The link just goes from family to family, and this is why it's so important. We talk about this all the time. It's the role model. Addiction affects everyone. It affects you and me, even if we don't have an addiction. We know someone somewhere with a drug addiction or alcohol addiction. Adolescence. This is a time period of high vulnerability to drug abuse or other risk-taking behaviors, because monkey see, monkey do. They are still that stage, and they are affected by peer pressure. Mental illness. People with mental illness are particularly at risk for problems related to substance abuse because they don't know better. Remember, a person with a mentally challenged issue is almost like a child. They need guidance and direction, like we are when it comes to our Lord and Savior. We need guidance and direction. We're like children. We are children of God. Consequences of substance abuse. These can include illness, injury, and death. Each year, approximately 40 million debilitating illnesses or injuries occur among Americans as a result of their use of tobacco, alcohol, and or any other addictive drug. Deaths in 2000, approximately 460,000 deaths were attributed to illicit drug and or alcohol, including smoking. Families can be destroyed by drug abuse. Prenatal. This is things that you are doing. Shame on you, mom, while you're pregnant. If you're smoking, infants born to women who smoke during pregnancy have a lower average birth weight and may be at increase for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, conduct disorder, or childhood obesity. If you're using crack or cocaine, shame on you, mom, while you're pregnant. At all, but while you're pregnant especially. Babies born to mothers who abuse cocaine during pregnancy can be born prematurely and have low birth weights. There may be as many as 45,000 cocaine birth exposed babies per year. Child abuse. Approximately 50 to 80% of all child abuse and neglect cases substantiated by Child Protective Services involve some degree of substance abuse by the child's parents. Drug abuse affects us all. I keep repeating that. In our community, homelessness, 31% of all, or 31% of Americans homeless suffer from drug abuse and or alcoholism. In our community, the crime, as many as 60% of adults in federal prisons are there for drug-related crime. That's the white-collar criminals. In our community, education. Children with prenatal cocaine exposure are more likely 1.5 times to need special education services in school. Special education costs for this population are estimated at $23 million per year. The workplace. In 1997, illicit drug users were more likely than any others to have missed 2 or more days per month due to their drug and or alcohol abuse. Folks, the signs are right here. The lessons are to be learned right here because the statistics are right here. If the fact that diabetes per year and cancer per year, their costs combined only at $302 billion. Their costs combined, diabetes and cancer, are still $180 billion less than substance abuse costs our nation per year, which is at $484 billion. What is that telling you with this epidemic that's going on in this country? It's going on globally. Might be going on in your home. What is that telling you? It's telling me It is time to wake up, not just America, it's time to wake up world. Let's get a tight grip on the war on drugs. Let's get a tight grip on our children. Let's take our children's life back before their lives are gone. It starts in your home. I repeat this over and over and over, and I do this for a reason. The reason is because I'm hoping and praying that it will sink in, that only in your home is where a good future for your children can start. If you in your home continuously smoke and drink and use profanity and physically abuse, that is what your child or children will continuously do in their life pattern. Children look at you as their role model, as their hero. So if they see you smoke and drink and use profanity and physically abuse your spouse or someone else, they say, well, my hero, mom and dad, are doing it, so it must be okay. I am a watcher of Bill Cunningham, and all I see on his show constantly and consistently is the guests constantly blaming their parents on what they're going through now, whether it's physically abusing, whether it's using drugs, whether it's sexually active with multiple partners. They're saying it's because my mother or my father were doing it, it's okay, or I am blaming them. Let today be the first day in your life to stop blaming everyone else for your problems and taking full accountability and responsibility for yourself. Let today be the first day that you take your life back. At home, starting today, I ask each and every one of you folks to stop the smoking in front of your children. Stop the drinking in front of your children. Stop the using the profanity, and by all means stop physically abusing each other in your home. If you have anger issues, my good friend, my mentor, my professor, Dr. Luis Gonzalez now is offering anger management clinics. Call him. This is all done via web air, so you don't even need to go to him. Call him at 844-414-8444. Dr. Luis Gonzalez can help you with your anger management. And he is now recognized in a lot of the court systems. So if you're sitting and watching me right now and you're in jail for domestic abuse, for having anger issues, call him, 844-414-8444. Go through his clinic. Come out of his clinic with a certificate and bring it to the judge. The judge will go lenient on you, knowing that you have gone through his anger management courses or clinics. And like I said, it is done through Skype, it is done through FaceTime, it is done through the internet, and it is done for you. Go to Dr. Luis Gonzalez, 844-414-8444. It is time to take your life back today. If you're watching me and you're in a homeless shelter and you heard those numbers that I just spoke about, that 31% of Americans homeless suffer from drug abuse or alcoholism. So if you're sitting there, you have a 1/3 chance to admit to yourself right now that you have a drug and alcohol problem. More than likely, that's the reason you are homeless. Because you are out of control with your thinking cap. You're out of control with your money. You are out of control. And you need someone like myself or Dr. Luis Gonzalez to help take your life back. So if you're sitting in that homeless shelter, pick up the phone. Call me, 844-405-HELP. Or text me. Borrow somebody's cell phone. Text me, 631-599-0218. If you can get to the library, go look me up go to Google and type in Take Your Life Back Today show. If you reach out to me, I promise you, I will either help you myself or direct you to the proper channels to get help. But the only way each and every one of us, wherever we might be, if it's in jail, if it's in a homeless shelter, nursing home, or just sitting at home. The only way we can get help is by doing a few things. It's first and utmost is to admit you have a problem, whether it's alcohol and or drugs. There is no shame in admitting. Matter of fact, people will respect you more once you admit that you have a problem. Then the second step, which is the most crucial step, although admitting is a crucial step, but you need to reach for your higher power. Your life would not be out of control if you had a grip on it. But when you reach to your higher power and you say, God, I need help, guide and direct me, you will see changes coming your way that you will be totally amazed by. Changes in a physical sense. Your complexions, your eyes, your body will feel, look, and be better. Changes financially. You will see that all that money you were wasting on drugs and alcohol can be used towards possibly getting out of that homeless shelter or getting out of jail, raise the bail money, or paying off those fees so you don't go back to jail. You will see changes in your family and relationship lives. And most importantly, you will see changes in your spiritual life. All these changes will not happen tomorrow if you talk about it today. They will happen as time goes on. Eventually, when you have admitted that you have a problem and you start becoming sober and you learn through whoever you go to live in recovery, all these changes will happen. But you need to have a game plan. Will it be AA with the 12-step program? Will it be going into a treatment center or a rehab center? Or will it be just simply getting a hold of me, because I know my method works. It works for me. Since June 22nd, 2013, I have not have one drop, not even the size of a pin of alcohol, not even NyQuil during my cold. I won't even eat. I love eating herring and sour cream, and Stop and Shop, which is a local supermarket, has not had it in my size, so they've had the wine and herring. I refuse to even eat that. I will not be tempted by any alcohol substance. I never had a drug issue, but alcohol is my poison. I stay away from. Would you purposely drink bleach or antifreeze knowing it'll kill you because it's poison? Well, that's how I feel about my alcohol, and that's how you should feel no matter what your poison is, whether it's cocaine, crack, marijuana, beer, vodka, whatever it might be. You need to stay away from it. Reach up to God and say, God Almighty, help me take control of my life. And read the banner behind me. Take your life back. You can take your life back. You might need help from me or Dr. Luis Gonzalez, or you definitely need help from God, but you can take your life back. You know, I could sit here all day and beg you, but it's up to you. You are the captain of your own vessel. Your vessel is your body. You're the captain. And let God be the navigator. Let God navigate you through the sea of life. So your vessel that you're the captain of will never hit anything in that water that might sink your vessel. I know I do some corny comparisons, but your body is like a ship. And you are the captain. You make that decision what goes into that body. And God is your navigator if you accept Him as your Lord Jesus Christ. And with your navigation and your clear mind as a captain, your vessel will keep sailing and sailing of the sea of life. Now, of course, all our vessels eventually will sink. That is just human nature. That is just life itself. But why quicken it? By purposely consuming things that will sink your vessel quicker. And why would any captain take their vessel in the sea of life without navigation? Well, you can't go through life without the navigation of God. Let Him navigate you through each and every avenue, each and every turn and corner. Let Him be part of your life. Let the sunshine that God provides from up above into your heart and into your home, and you will get nothing but positive results. For all the people that are watching me, that might be in the homeless shelter, that might be in jail or might be in a nursing home, and you have people that visit you in jail that tell you you are there because you are no good and you're worth nothing. Shrug them off. You are worth everything to the Lord Jesus. You have made mistakes that are going to be forgiven when you reach out to Him. The people that are telling you you're no good and worth nothing, stay away from the negativity. Let the positive reinforcement from God sink into your heart, and think positive, and know that no matter what decisions you make, let God override them if they're the wrong decisions. If you're in a homeless shelter and you have no food and you're cold, reach out to God. I used to be one of those people that laughed when people said, well, I need to pray about it and it's up to God. And then I would say, well, that's not going to help me right now. But I'm telling you, as I sit here believing it now for quite some time, when you pray to God, all things will come that you need in life. It's just a matter of letting Him take control. Let Him navigate you. Carrie Underwood sang a song, Jesus Take the Wheel, and it's so true. If Jesus takes the wheel of your life, He will not crash into any poles, into any other cars. He will not drive your life off the cliff. Let Him take full control. Let Him take the wheel. Thank you, Carrie Underwood, for that song, because that song, Jesus Take the Wheel, is so true about you and I, about our lives, and about how God needs to drive our lives in the proper direction. If you're in a nursing home and your family doesn't come and visit you as much as you'd like, know this, that I will always be here on these videos, and I hope you have access to continually watching me. But more importantly, God is watching you. God is there for you. And when your family does come, just voice and say to them, could you please visit me a little bit more? Maybe they don't realize that they don't come enough. You got to remember, those folks are in their prime of their life, probably working, trying to make a living. It is not because they forget about you. It's because they don't have the time. But if you kindly remind them maybe to come visit you a little bit more, they probably will. But in the meantime, if you have access to my show, continue watching, and I am here for you. And if you have access to texting or telephone or internet, reach out to me. 844-405-HELP. My texting is 631-599-0218, and you can go on the website. Any website, Google search engine, any Yahoo search engine, just type in Take Your Life Back Today show. You will find me. You can go directly to my websites, www.takeyourlifebacktodayShow, www.clearviews.info, www.clearreform.com. Folks, we have now reached 20 different addiction rehab centers that have utilized or are utilizing my videos on their websites as educational or advertisement purposes. The message is getting out there, and it's because of you, my audience, that we are becoming bigger. My ultimate goal is to reach as many people as possible. That is my ultimate goal, but I need you to help. And the way you continuously help me would be by watching me and telling other people about me. If you're watching this video, just copy or share it with somebody else. Let them watch it, because no matter what I say in every single video, there has to be 1 ounce of information that can be utilized by each and every person. It all starts with you. Be a great role model. Be the best you can be for your children. Reach out to God and ask for guidance and direction. Reach out to me for help. 844-405-HELP. But more importantly, reach out to your inside and see what needs to be done to save your life And I am here to help take your life back. Remember, have a sober today that will give you a better tomorrow. A sober today, listen to those words, a sober today will give you a better tomorrow. And let the sun shine into your heart and your home, and I promise you'll get nothing but positive results. I hope to God that each and every one of you folks has a great day today, but more importantly, I hope to God you have a sober today. May God bless you, and have a great day.